Haliday Douglas. I'm the president and CEO of the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation. We are an organization that exists to raise funds and invest in programming that drives equitable outcomes for students in St. Louis, and particularly for students attending the St. Louis Public School District. We support kids, we support families, and we support educators. Today, we are having a conversation, a casual conversation about early college academy and early college initiatives going on in St. Louis and in the St. Louis Public School District. And I am joined by a number of constituents, key stakeholders that are actually making that happen and making that work. Before I get started, I would like to just share gratitude, one, to the foundation team, but two, to the district itself. The current district administration has made a significant commitment of beginning the process of growing the early college work from 70 up to 210 students, so tripling that size in the upcoming year, as part of an ongoing effort to ensure more prosperous St. Louis for individuals, families, and the community at large. So kudos to that administration. We are so proud to be a partner in this work to bring that dream to fruition. I am joined by a number of people, and I will allow them to introduce themselves. If we could start with your name, your organizational affiliation, and your relationship to Early College Academy, the district's Early College Academy, and or early college work in St. Louis. Julie?
Well, good afternoon, I guess I should say. I'm Julie Fickas. I'm the campus president and chief academic officer at the Forest Park campus of St. Louis Community College. And we are actually the home campus of the SLPS Early College Academy. And so the students that you see on the screen are sitting one floor up and down the hall from me as we speak. And so we're just proud to be a part of this work. So thank you for inviting me.
How about our students? We'll start with you, Maya, and then we'll go.
My name is Maya. I'm a student here. I'm a senior, and I'm from Clarkson Miller Career Academy.
My name is Kenya. I'm a student here, and I'm from Classy Miller Career Academy.
Welcome, Kenya.
My name is Harmony, and I'm a student here as well, and I'm from Central Visual Performing Arts High School.
And you're a student where exactly?
At the community college as well at Forest Park.
Okay. Right. Katie?
Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Katie Fischer. I'm the market executive at Bank of America here in St. Louis. And we've had a longstanding partnership with the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation for a number of years, and just recently announced an exciting initiative with the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Haliday.
And welcome, and Josh.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Josh Henning. I am the Associate Superintendent of College and Career Readiness for St. Louis Public Schools. I have been warned not to talk too much. One of our board members even told me one time at a board meeting, take it down, you're talking too much. So I'm gonna keep it brief. Our department basically is the department that makes sure that ECA happens, along with all of our dual enrollment, dual credit, IB, AP. All of that falls under our department. So Ms. O'Keefe is in our department, who is at St. Louis Community College, and Mr. Guthrie, who has just been brought on this year as our coordinator of advanced academics.
Right. Thank you, Josh. And so just a moment of housekeeping. There is a chat function in the Zoom room, as well as a Q&A function. chat function, feel free to use to just check in and say hello. For the Q&A function, and because we will have Q&A toward the end of this talk, please submit any questions you would like to ask of the panelists or myself that you just want to dig in more to as the conversation goes along. Well, we have folks online who'll be taking care of those on the background and letting us know so that we can get to them at the end. But the format in general will be, I'll just do round robin questioning, and then you'll get those responses. We'll end with some we'll have Q&A, and we'll end up with a charge. The whole point of today is really to allow people to understand what we're doing in terms of getting what the district is doing in terms of getting kids to and through college and or also career, because that's also a component of college, of some of the college work happening, and also understand it in the context of how that is important to the region. So I will start actually with Josh and ask him, what is early college, and what does it look like from a district standpoint?
Yeah, excellent question. So, let me just kind of start you through the journey that our young people take. So, sophomore year, they have the opportunity, if they meet the community college requirements, they have the opportunity to take an assessment called the AccuPlacer. One of our staff members actually coordinates with all the schools, and any 10th grader that kind of meets the community college qualifications gets to take this assessment. We then take those scores and we look and we start to build, okay, who can we have be a part of this program? And it's actually a pretty extensive process we go through, because some students, it's not necessarily a right fit for them, right? And that's okay. There are some students, for whatever reason, it's not a right fit. And we want to be able to identify that early, because we want our students that are there to be the ones that really are going to take advantage and be successful. So what does that mean to be successful at Early College Academy? Well, there's kind of two aspects. One is our students who get admitted can enroll in the very traditional kind of, here, I'm going to get an associate's degree in general studies. And they go to the community college for 2 years. They take their courses there, and they graduate with that degree. But another pathway that we're really excited about is for our students to get what is called the Core 42. And sometimes that coincides with the associate's degree as well. Why is that important? It's important because those credits transfer, right? And so our students are able to then go on and take their credits with them somewhere else, which is really an exciting opportunity for them. So what does it actually look like for our students at Early College Academy? Well, over the summer, we do a kind of an introduction. We do an open house. They come to the community college. The amazing staff at St. Louis Community College presents all different aspects of the college. They do a tour, and then they start the enrollment process, and they actually get a schedule. They get an ID. They become college students, which is really, really exciting, because not only do they have the support from us in St. Louis Public Schools and all of the aspects that we have, they also get the St. Louis Community College support, right? So it really is putting them in a position to be as successful as possible. Part of our commitment and kind of the secret to our success has been having somebody there at the community college, Miss O'Keefe, who interacts every single day with the students. And so those 3 lovely young ladies that you all see right now on your screen, they know Miss O'Keefe, and Miss O'Keefe knows them. She knows where they want to go to college or work, or where they need additional help, where they're struggling. She knows all aspects of them, because that personal relationship is the thing that helps those students to navigate the college space. Because the reality is the college space is different from the high school space. So what our students experience there is they might experience a professor that is just like their high school teacher, and that's wonderful. But they may also experience a professor that's a little more professor, if you know what I mean, right? So it's, hey, your scores are your 4 tests, and that's it. So those are things that our students might need help navigating. And that's where Miss O'Keefe gets to help them through that process.
All right,
So
I'm gonna
that's
pause for a second because I'm gonna, Josh, you can tell he's been actually, how long have you been with the district, Josh?
this is year number 26.
Yeah, he's almost and it started as a building leader. So if you want to know someone who knows the full spectrum of a child's sort of experience in the school district and the amazing educators who have been so impactful in getting them to that end of the road, this is the human or one of the humans you need to be speaking with on that work. I'm gonna pivot just a second to just even bring that experience to life. But essentially, kids apply in their sophomore year, their 10th grade year of high school. They're admitted at the end of that 10th grade year if they meet eligibility criteria. And they spend their next 2 years, 11th and 12th grade year, pursuing their associates and or the Core 482, which we'll talk more about a little bit later. Over those next 2 years as full-time students at St. Louis Community College at Forest Park. Kenya and Harmony, could you talk to me or talk to us about, one, why did you enroll or choose to enroll in Early College Academy? And what's your favorite part of it? Either one of you can go.
The reason I enrolled into the academy is because I felt like it would have been a good opportunity to expand my learning and expand to be something greater when I do apply for colleges, because it will look amazing on college applications, especially for what I want to do later on in life. What was the second question? I'm sorry.
Your favorite part?
One of my favorite parts in the academy is like, it's kind of more of like the freedom I have to be like myself and be able to do things on my own. Because sometimes when you're back in high school, you do have the restrictions on what you can and can't do. But when I'm here, I do have more freedom to be able to like explore more stuff besides what's restricted inside of high school.
More stuff are you talking about coursework or are you talking about different extracurricular activities?
Yeah, different extracurricular activities and kind of work as well.
Okay. How about you, Kenya?
For me, I joined ECA because I thought it would be a good opportunity, and I already have like an idea of what I want to do. So doing ECA, it gives me like it's giving me the prerequisites to go into the field that I want to go into.
What is that field?
I've actually been thinking about being a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So being in ECA, being in ECA, it's just giving me the opportunity to like get some of those credits early. And something that I like about ECA, I like the freedom and independence, because like in high school, it's very different. Like in college, you don't have to like ask to go to the restroom. Like if you need to do something, I have the independence to like just go out and do it on my own. I don't have to like depend on anyone else to like get things done, basically.
Right. And Maya, you are the veteran with us. Maya has been there. This is her second of 2 years with the program. She'll be graduating and transitioning from the program in the spring. Why did you join early college? And what has been the biggest obstacle that you've sort of overcome or broke through on your way to where you are now?
I joined because it's like 2 free years of college, and you get used to the college environment early. So when you go to a 4-year university, it's much easier for you. I also joined because it was just a great opportunity to, and like as you said, the core 42 classes, those classes transfer to the college I'm going to. So it takes some of the workload off of me my freshman year of my 4-year university. And then the biggest obstacle was getting used to the college. It's very different than high school. Like high school, they push you along, they baby you. In college is very different. You're more independent, and the work you have to be motivated to do it by yourself. No one's gonna just keep telling you to do it and do it. They'll tell you like once or twice, and then after that, you're on your own. So I was just getting used to that and the freedom.
All right. Julie Fickas from St. Louis Community College, Forest Park. I am so curious about what brings you to the table. What's the importance of early college, and why do you continue to partner with the district and foundation and making it happen?
There's so many reasons, but you see 3 of them sitting on your screen here. Watching students being able to complete their associate's degree, sometimes the very same day that they are getting, their high school diploma, is amazing for us. We have the opportunity to see these students be successful. And we know that there's just their success rate here is very high. That's helpful for us, of course. Also, we're measured on our success. We're measured on our enrollment. So those are, if you were counting what are the things that we gain from that, these are things that the college gains. But the bigger part of this is that when students are successful in our community, they build our community. And that's really what we're about, is how can we help build our community and build the resources our community needs right here with the students that are living right here.
Got it. So there's a national trend where we know, and I'll just be direct, that there are, the college completion rate, the 2-year college completion rate that yields an associate's degree is not very high nationally. Depending on the study, it looms somewhere between 25 and 35% completion. And it's a business model that's employed a lot because you have students who join, who take courses that they don't earn credit toward, and then they wind up sort of dropping out. And the college sort of benefits from getting the revenue from those dollars without necessarily having to do award any college coursework at all. That just doesn't sound like a winning proposition. Why is this a winning proposition in terms of your bottom line?
For our bottom line, these students will be people who will continue to learn. They will be people who will continue to take coursework. And they will have other folks maybe in their family who will take coursework as well. What the community college has done is we've tried to get rid of that remediation cycle that has been such a barrier and just really has been awful for students in the past. And we've really moved to a co-requisite model where our students, even if they fall below the mark for being ready for a course, say a math course. Math is our course that is most remediated. The students get to choose whether they want to take a co-requisite course that supports their learning or not. At this point in time, they can kind of do a self-assessment and kind of see where they are and kind of pick their place. We've moved away from that old cycle of, okay, you take 016 to 020 to 030, and maybe you'll make it to a 100 level course that will count as college credit. So
doesn't that cost you more money not to offer courses that kids are going to fail out?
No, because they'll continue on. We actually make our money on the other end of it, where it's more productive for society, and we're really grateful to be able to do that.
Katie Fischer, just curious, you have been a long-term funder from Bank of America's standpoint of early college academy with the district. You and your colleagues at Bank of America has also just awarded the foundation this amazing generous gift as a neighborhood builder grantee of $200,000 over the course of 2 years to actually increase supports to help out the expansion of early college work with district students. I'm curious, why does this matter from your lens, personally, and both in terms of the interest of Bank of America?
Well, thanks, Haliday. Again, it's a pleasure to be here, and hello to everyone. I think the overarching message really is we all want our community to have the power to grow and thrive, right? We all want that for St. Louis. It could be strong and stable neighborhoods, affordable housing, arts and culture. It is critical that we have great, strong education, financial literacy. And how we feel is the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation is key to the effort as we work together for many years to address the needs to advance economic mobility. And we can clearly see a return on this investment. So we're, again, we feel really fortunate to work with you and the team there to give students the power to succeed through the Early College Academy, which really focuses on these sustainable, life-changing outcomes, right? You're giving them an opportunity. I like to describe it as accelerating success, right? They're ahead 2 years by the time they're graduating from high school. So you mentioned that we just announced the investment of $200,000 to the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation, specifically for Early College Academy, because we very much want to see this accelerated and brought to scale. And so we're excited about the program, and we're excited about the future of the program and what that investment can lead to. And, it aligns nicely with our strategy, right? Career readiness, jobs, post-secondary, the workforce we have here in St. Louis, building that thriving community that I talked about a little bit ago. So we appreciate all that you do to help in this effort. And frankly, we applaud you for the collaboration, particularly with St. Louis Community College, because we see that as just a terrific partnership, and we're pleased to be a part of it.
Thank you. Maya Harmony Kenya. I'm curious if you all understood, just with the conversation you've heard so far, just how powerful you are, how select of an experience you're having, and just how much you represent hope for our region. Did you all realize that before you got on this call?
No.
I think you created a lot of smiling adults, both that are in this Zoom room, but also who are concerned about the future of St. Louis. Could you, and I know I embarrassed you by saying that, but you are the dream, and you're living that dream for all of us. And that's, it's what every person on this call, but every other panelist on here, we go to work for every day. So it really is like just such a special honor just to be sort of in your presence in one way or another. When we talk about early college, there's Miss O'Keefe, who Dr. Henning, Josh just mentioned, is on site, a key part of the program. Who is Miss O'Keefe to you, and how do you interact with her on a daily basis? What does that look like? I know she's right there in the background, so it's awkward. Just pretend she's not there.
So for me, Miss O'Keefe,
come on and speak up, Kenya.
For me, Miss O'Keefe, she's like I don't want to say like a friend, but like she's like the staple for me. Like every time like I come into ECA, like I can look forward to like coming like into Miss O'Keefe's office and like talking to her. And like if I have like any like questions with like college or like with classes, I can come into her office and like I can just talk to her She's really like nice and friendly and stuff. So it's I don't know. It's been really nice like having her here because like I don't really know anybody else really. So like me like having like a person to like come to and talk to about things has made it like easier.
For me, Miss O'Keefe is like, she's kind of like a parent figure in my opinion. Cause when you come in, she gives you like this huge, hey, how are you? How are you doing today? All this other stuff. She's always the person that comes and she's like, are you okay? Or she'll come and check in with you about your grades and make sure everything is cool with you. And if you're having any problems, she'll offer you some help or just help you herself if she can. And she's kind of like a guide at the same time, which is kind of the point of her, but like not really. But she's most definitely here to guide us light through way, even though because she knows that since we're all still in high school, we are still going to need a little bit of guidance ourselves, even though we are stubborn about it or if we're open to it. So that's kind of like my view of Miss O'Keefe. I really do appreciate her. So
To me, Miss O'Keefe is one of my biggest supporters. She's always there for me when I need her. She also pushes us to go to class if days we don't feel like it. She'll push us to go to class. She'll make sure we stay on top of our work. She's always making sure that we're okay mentally because college can be hard on our mental health coming in from high school to college, especially since the teachers don't know that we're still in high school. They treat us like college students. So she's always there to support us, help us with our classes. She's something to look forward to every day when you come into school to talk to her and have conversations with her.
Thank you. Josh, early college. What does that have to do with, I mean, you oversee college, but you also oversee career work with the district. How is this? I mean, why are we choosing that over the other? This is one of the questions that came along through the pipeline.
Yeah, excellent question. And I would say we're not choosing one over the other.
Oh, and I'm sorry.
The-
Again, if you have questions, please use that Q&A function, just so you know where I'm taking them from. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so it really isn't one or the other. They actually align. And so they occur at the same time. And here's how. So if our students are taking courses, dual enrollment courses at St. Louis Community College, they're getting exposed to different pathways and different things that the community college offers. Some of those things, some of those pathways result, whether it's medical, whether it's flying drones or cybersecurity or automotive, whatever these pathways are, our students have opportunities to have access to those. And so if they say, look, I want to enter a career in cybersecurity, I can go directly into that and continue on that career trajectory. Or if they say, I want to get a 4-year degree in computer science, they can then transfer to a college or university that offers that 4-year degree. So what we're experiencing is that it really just opens up those options for our students. And I have more to say about that, but I'm going to pause there because I will get going.
Got it. Josh, why is it? So we're thinking about expanding the program as to up to 1,000 students in 3 to 5 years. And we're going to approximately 210 next year. How do you know that's even possible? How do you know we can do that?
I mean, first, let me just say, we have to. Every single student that graduates from St. Louis Public Schools should have the opportunity. And this is really the vision that I know our interim superintendent shared at the last meeting. Every kid, every young person should graduate with some college credit, bare minimum. So how do we provide that opportunity for our young people? And the answer is, we don't know. But we're going to start with 210 as a goal for next year. And even that, I know some of my folks on our team are probably shaking their heads like, how are we going to make this happen? I know it's too much for Kate by herself. So I know that's part of the piece, right? Is we have to support with additional staff members. We have to look at, like Mr. Guthrie has identified, what are some things that maybe we could offer as dual credit for our students to lead into the experience with the community college, so they're not taking courses that don't count, like you said, Haliday, right? Those are some of the answers. Those are some of the things that we're working on right now. We even piloted some things this last summer through the foundation. So the answer is, I'm not sure how we're going to get to 1,000, but we have to, right?
Right. What we know right now is that roughly there's at least 650 kids on paper who would qualify for early college as is if we change nothing. Currently, there are 70 full-time kids participating. And if we broaden that out to part-timers, we're looking closer to 115 to 130. So the notion of expanding out there, the district in partnership with the foundation, we're well at work in terms of some implementation planning. Again, trying to figure out like what are the right dosages of awareness building, of creating those internal sort of networks that go beyond 10th grade, go from maybe 9th grade through 12th grade. And so there are the unknowns, but it's an amazing problem to have to solve. We're starting with 210 because you start where you are. You don't start, with, the complete sort of flip of a dream, right? You gotta start where you are, and where we are is a superintendent who is aggressively, as Josh put it, aggressively saying we need to be living in this dream. Let's triple this in the next year. Let's have that be our starting point. Her transparency and the combination of her transparency and Josh's courageousness and saying, all right, calling all his team together to move it forward has been pretty wonderful. Another question we have here is really around why early college work and not work in early literacy or reading, knowing that the beginning of a kid's life is fundamental to lifelong success. At the foundation, we fund reading, so pre-K through 8 reading. We fund health and wellness, and we fund post-secondary success, which includes early college and some and career work internships primarily. We believe we do these at the same time. One thing that's important to note is that all the programs funded by the foundation are actually, they're supported by the foundation, but they are actually driven and led by district leadership. And so we fund programmatic efforts that exist that address those things. It's not a and or, but it is a both and. We're talking about early college academy work right now because it's low-hanging fruit. It's low-hanging fruit because there's such potential to expand this work. And there's also such great immediate rewards to this region by doing so. Imagine what would be if 1,000 kids every year were going into the workforce or into college and pipelining regional prosperity. The name of this talk exactly. How do we ensure that we can meet the needs set out by the STL Jobs Plan 2030 put out by Greater St. Louis, Inc., or Forward Through Ferguson, who's about right-sizing equity for all, or St. Louis Community College and their State of the Workforce report. How do we meet these opportunities? And I think what Josh is speaking to really, and Katie's speaking to, is really about, well, we got to start with setting goals to fill those opportunities. And that's what we're doing through this work. Katie, talk to us. Are you able to speak to interest of your your colleagues and or others in the corporate world in terms of how they might see the need of this work? I know I've had conversations so far with the Regional Business Council, but I'm and their interests in maybe picking up some of this work. But what are some of the conversations you've had about access to college and or career and the necessity in this region?
Thanks, Haliday. You mentioned it, right? You talked about Greater St. Louis Inc.'s workforce goals and objectives over the course of the next several years. I think about the fact that living wage jobs solves so many of our issues today. And so that's why our focus at Bank of America continues to be on career readiness, jobs, workforce development, skill building. And then we can layer that, financial education and our volunteers and our academy resources all onto that. And I think you mentioned it at some point, Haliday, that, there's a really solid ROI in this program. We think about that it's scholar-centric, it's opportunity-focused. Those who attend early college academy graduate on time, more likely to graduate on time. The attendance in the GPA is up. They're likely to have leadership roles, so they have experience in leading initiatives. ACT scores are higher, scholarship money is higher. And so you take all that and you look at the level of differentiation that this program has in the St. Louis Public Schools district, and you see that it is indeed success accelerated. And that's really how I would describe it. And I mean, I applaud you for offering the program. I applaud you for wanting and planning to expand it. I mean, I can't speak for all the funders in town, but imagine if every eligible high school junior and senior in the St. Louis Public School District had the opportunity to participate in this program. I mean, that would just be a tremendous success story for the St. Louis region as a whole, and in particular, the St. Louis Public School District. So we're thrilled that we can be a part of it. And we, obviously look forward to the success and look forward to seeing it grow.
Thank you. Julie Fickas of St. Louis Community College. Can the college ecosystem handle every child doing dual enrollment?
I think they can. And I think there's a lot of opportunities, as you mentioned, a lot of different ways to organize it that makes it doable for all of us, and whether that's, and let me differentiate a little bit because the audience may not understand there's a difference between dual credit and dual enrollment. Dual credit is offered in the high schools. High school teachers are teaching the college level courses according to what we call a course profile. So it's our course that's being taught by someone who's qualified in the same way any college level teacher would be qualified. Dual enrollment, of which Early College Academy is a dual enrollment program, is actually when our teachers are teaching that coursework generally at our institution. And so there's a lot of different models we could employ. And there are ways for students to make sure that they are getting those college credits, because we do know that the statistics show that students who take dual enrollment courses, dual credit, dual enrollment courses, are going to be more likely to complete an associate's degree. And I think even a bachelor's degree, they're 9% more likely to complete their bachelor's degree. So it's giving them that leg up early. You heard the students themselves say they get more comfortable with what that college environment is. And, they're earning their prerequisites if they're going into nursing. One of the students mentioned a nurse practitioner role. They're going to go into a nursing program. They're getting those prerequisites done to go into those programmatic courses. And so they're going to be one leg ahead of everybody else as they move down the tracks here.
Thank you. Josh, another question in here is, how much does it cost? And I think the question right now is, how much does the current model cost versus how much would it cost as we expand. The foundation can help extrapolate on those numbers, but what's the cost of this?
Yeah, no, it's an excellent question. So basically, with our partnership with the community college, they have provided the space for us, where you see those three young ladies are right now, the Early College Academy suite. They've provided that space for us at no cost at all. So that's huge for us, because then what that enables us to do is to basically, the only cost we pay for is the cost of the credits to the community college. And right now, our school district has prioritized that and said we will up to every year. And this year, I think it was actually, let me look at my board here. Up to $244,250 is what our board approved for us to spend to invest specifically in credits for our young people. And the community college even gives us a discounted rate for that. They also allow us for those dual credit courses to utilize a program that I think it's up to 6 credit hours are covered for those students that qualify. So cost is, it's there, but at the same time, it is something that I think all of us on this call would agree on. That should not hold us back, right? If we have 300 students that want to get early college experience, well, doggone it, it is teed up for them, and let's do it. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with the cost question.
Right. And where we've estimated the foundation is somewhere between $1.5 and $2 million in that first year, when we consider increasing the number of kids while also increasing the amount of support. As we know, secure attachment relationships are absolutely essential to making it to and through a college experience. Most people call it social capital, those relationships that drive you forward. And so a lot of the investment goes into that, as well as lab materials and books, in addition to the actual tuition piece that Josh was just speaking to. We have a question here for the students here, the scholars here, and that is, have you experienced any changes in mindsets or your understandings about like what college is through your participation?
Me personally, I did have a change in how I kind of view myself a little bit. Because back in high school, I could just like turn in my work whenever, sometimes. But I know that in college, you actually have like deadlines and stuff like that. So I understand I have to have time management and be more responsible when it comes to my work, instead of kind of slacking off a little bit like I did back in high school.
For me, the college experience is.
Could you speak up a little bit, Kenya?
Sorry. So my experience has been like the same, because like in high school, like I didn't really have to hold myself accountable really, because like everyone else will like hold me accountable and like kind of like guide me through things. But in college, you really have to hold yourself accountable. And with all of like the freedom and independence that comes with being a college student, like it's easy to like get lost in that and just like do whatever you want to do and not go to class. But if you want to like really succeed, and I mean this is a really good opportunity. So like to succeed, so like having this opportunity. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But, yeah,
go ahead.
For me, it changed my mindset about college. Like at first I thought college was going to be really hard. Like I wouldn't be able to achieve what I wanted to achieve. But doing this program, it calmed my nerves to go into a 4-year university. It's gotten me more excited about it. And it's like, for me, it feels more achievable to go into the career I want to choose. And also it did teach me to like, I have to lock in and do the work. to get there.
And what career are you looking for again, Maya?
Respiratory therapist.
Respiratory therapist. Oh my goodness. And Harmony, I'm not sure if you shared where your destination is, where you're heading. It's
I would
okay
like
if you're
to
still
go.
figuring it out, but
No, no. I would like to go into the medical field to do ultrasound.
okay. All right. Well, thank you. Uh, I'm sorry. So we have, looks like we have time for a couple more questions that I'm opening right now. Okay, so we have I guess a fun one or a goofy one for our scholars here. I mean, I guess it's sort of like what's a small thing you wish you had that you don't have that like would just make life so much better as a college student.
A car.
Yes, I need a
Car.
car.
How are you getting to campus right now?
For me, my mom, she has to like take me to campus, and then to get home, I just catch the metro. But having a car, it would make it so much easier.
Yeah, and for me, my mom is at home doing like work from home and stuff like that, considering I do have students as well. So I just take the metro bus to and from.
Oh, I have a car, so I'm not worried about that. I never actually really thought about it, so I don't really know.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. And Josh, more on the core 42. So what is the core 42? Why is the district moving in that direction?
Yeah. So basically these are credits. These are courses that our students can take that there's no question about it. They will transfer to the colleges and universities in Missouri. And Dr. Fickas, please correct me if I'm wrong here. But they basically will transfer to anybody that is part of recognizing those core 42. The students know they're taking courses that are going to be transferable. And the reason that's so important is because you, as we all know, I mean, I ended up being a history teacher, but I remember I took a course in, I took two courses in music theory. And because I just signed up for them on my own, and my advisor said, well, what'd you do that for? Because now you're going to have to take these extra courses. And the reality is those are some of the things that the Core 42 helps us to avoid, right? Is students kind of getting courses that later on they don't get to use. So that's why it's so important.
Thank you. And then we have another question is why isn't there more work going into things that get students ready for early college, earlier on? The specific comment is 11th and 12th grade too late? And the foundation and the district basically say, yes, and the 11th and 12th grade is important, but I know there's some things in the pipeline that Josh and his team are working on in terms of bringing that earlier. One thing I would mention, though, is that what we know on the foundation end is that reading is one of the number one or leading correlates to lifelong success and even earnings. It's being reading proficient as an adult is the equivalent of making on average $60,000 a year versus 32 or 34. And it just so happens for the St. Louis region, the line for a living wage is 39,000. So we're talking about the difference between a living wage, making a living wage, and not for a person and a dependent. When we talk about reading proficiency. And so we are doing that work with the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation has signed on to support home libraries, which the district is also supporting through the Literacy in the Lou initiative. But we also provide free and pre-K supports and early childhood supports in terms of phonics-based reading in nature. Josh, did you want to take a moment to speak to some of the work you're doing and are thinking through in middle school and early high school?
Yeah, so our district has prioritized reading as and literacy as a priority, obviously. In terms of early kind of moving back earlier, it is so critical that our young people get exposed to careers at an early age, because you can tell a kid reading is important, but if you have it linked to something, right? If you have it linked to nursing or robotics or something that the young person is interested in, we know when students read, but they're interested in what they're reading, we see their growth go through the charts. And it's not just because they're being forced to, they want to read about it on their own. They start searching for ways to read about it on their own. So that literacy piece and the career piece, and thank you for whoever asked that question, that is huge. So part of what we're doing is we partner with Junior Achievement, and part of that partnership we're looking to grow is every single elementary school student gets to have some of those experiences early on where they get to define, hey, here's what I'm interested in. It may change. Of course it will. Kids will be kids, right? But that's the process that starts it, right? So I love that question. Yes, we've got a lot of things that we're working on, some areas we need to improve upon, but literacy is right there in the middle of it.
All right. Last question before we wrap it up. And this actually goes to Harmony, Kenya, and Maya. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now?
2 years from now, I actually see myself getting ready to go off into my first year of college, I believe. I'll be either in my first year of college or going on into my second year. And I'd be studying for the field I want to go to, which is the medical field and ultra technician. So that's kind of where I see myself in 2 years, succeeding in my dream.
And right now you're taking all your general core things that that are required of college before you go into any specialty stuff for you.
It's best to try to get it out the way now, so when I do actually go, I can actually just kind of jump straight into what I want to do.
Kenya?
In 2 years from now, I also see myself in my first year of like regular college, I guess. And I want to go into nursing. And so next school year, which will be my senior year, I will be able to complete a few of like the prerequisites. So depending on what college I decide to go to after I get my associate's degree, I would probably be like maybe like a few credits ahead of everyone else, since I'll be able to finish some of them classes here.
And Maya?
For me, in 2 years, I would be a sophomore at SEMO. So just getting my classes done to be a respiratory therapist.
Okay. And would that be basically it's your second year of college? Would that be your senior year as well?
No, it'd be my sophomore year.
Okay.
Some of my classes do transfer over, but there's also extra classes I have to take.
Okay.
For respiratory therapy.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm so sorry. I know we do have a number of other questions in the pipeline, but we'll actually read those and we can probably respond to them offline. But just in our closing, again, thank you so much to our panelists for being here, sharing your perspectives, and just being such great champions of this program, whether you are living in the program as our scholars are, or helping shape that program as our funders and district folk and our our community college folk are doing. We so appreciate this opportunity. We're so excited about really expanding this out to touch more lives and make a better, much larger imprint for this community, both in terms of geography, demographics, but also economy. And I encourage you all to follow up, to join us in one way or another to support this effort. And with that, have a great day.
Thanks. Good luck to the students. Take care.